Alright, this is a review for 1025 chapter, Twin Dragons. So, I mean, I guess, like, right off that, it's going to be about Momonosuke and Kaido, and so, of course, it's going to show both dragons together, you know, some kind of spread of that. Anyway, it starts off with the covers page, and it's fucking hilarious because Usopp is there, and they've got the little birds that are like, freaking out about his story, and that's pretty funny because it reminds me of the Tontadas. And then it's got this he's like, he looks like he'd work with more for Morgan's or something. This octopus, and he's got a cigarette because it's just, you need a buzz. There's just too many lies flying at once. Anyway, also fun thing to note is it's always good when Usopp like overdresses. I love it. Anyway, and he's got his own like pirate crew. Then he's got the Pinocchio liar's nose. Like every once in a while, you think back like about how many connections through fiction that Oda likes to do. Actually, the long nose, it really is a Pinocchio callback. Anyway, so of course it's got Luffy, and he's yelling at Momonosuke because obviously Momonosuke is still a child in a man's body. He's a child in a man's body, and a man in a dragon's body. So, it's not really smooth sailing. So it's kind of funny how last chapter, at the end, it was like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, right? And then, of course, like, the problems are still there. And then it's got everybody there looking on. Law's crew and Shinobu. And then jumps right into... so this also is good because now it's been 2 chapters of Kaido and Yamato battling it out, right? So it's like you need to get, like, it just gives a fuller spread, and I appreciate that more. I mean, I don't know like if this is a fight that I was like really wanting to see, but Oda has this deal where he'll take something that you may not think you're interested in and make you interested in it. And of course, I mean, if this is Yamato's backstory, I mean, I'm wondering if he's going to jump into Kaido's backstory here as well. That would be interesting. But I mean, Yamato definitely needs to be fleshed out. As I would say, like, I do enjoy the character, but she has kind of been, the one-trick pony, and just like a good version of Kaido. So, I mean, I know people are thinking she's going to join the crew. It's kind of weird because it's like it could be Momo or her, and she also could be, she could be the leader of Wano or Momonosuke. So they're kind of, it seems like he's kind of leaving that up to whatever. Anyway, so she does this Kagami Yama move, right? They trade club blows, right? And then Kaido's like, ow, he's bleeding. So I mean, already, like, I mean, even just hanging with Kaido is kind of like an impressive deal for her, right? Because it's like, I mean, who else really can do that? I mean, honestly, like, if you think about it, can Zoro really hang with Kaido? Like, I mean, it's pretty amazing. She's mythical Zoan, makes sense, and she's also Kaido's daughter, son, however you want to put it. So that also makes sense. Anyway, so this thing is like, sort of like, reminds me of Gaara's like sand shield skin or whatever. But so she busts out of that and like jumps out of it. So I mean, I don't know if it's like, I guess it's stone or something. I'm not sure. Like, I guess I'd have to look more into the her like spirit fox animal, like the background of that. Anyway, and then so he's like, oh, you're going on the defensive. So she like does this move where, I mean, it looks like she's like spinning the club around with both hands, because like when she throws it, it's called Himorogiri. When she throws it, it's like it's like both of her hands are like this. She's like that, you know. Anyway, and I mean, he gets, you know, it hits him. It fucks him up. And then, seems like she catches it backwards or something. But he sort of just watches it. I mean, again, it seems like Kaido, like, you know, in a Senor Pink Frankie kind of like let's trade blows situation, you know. Um, and then he refers to her as his son again. And so this is kind of started to get me thinking, like, the way she's always like, Odin, 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 I'm Odin, you know. It's like she's sort of like denying, you know, logical reality. And so it may be possible that like her want to be that thing, you know, like I started to see, like, because I've been watching the anime and like, you know, it's like introducing Yamato and he's like, my son, you know, Tobiropo, go get my son. And so it sort of made me think, like, maybe Kaido's doing this thing too. You know, like maybe Kaido's got this thing where he, like, is sort of, like, grasping to the fiction. Like, he wanted a son instead of a daughter or something. And he's just gonna say, like, that's what it is. I don't know, I just get that feeling. Anyway, and so, I mean, they're trading blows. Like, she's getting real hits in, you know. And so, I guess, like, you know, he's kind of saying, like, you're alone, right? And so now we're getting a little, like, insight into, like, how, like, what Kaido and Yamato's, like, what Kaido's trying to, like, pass on to Yamato. And definitely the like, father-child, like, theme of this entire arc is happening here with them. And, you know, he's like, you're alone. So, I mean, this is, like, probably... it's not probably, it's 100% getting into Kaido's got some issues surrounding, you know, around this stuff. So it's like, it makes you think about Rock's crew. And also, like, I'd like to see, like, I wonder if we'll get any interaction between Odin and, Kaido and Whitebeard. That would be interesting to see because, like, you know, Whitebeard's all about family. And so it seems like, you know, Kaido's got some redeemable aspects to him, like sort of like battle chivalry or something. So I can't imagine that interaction would be like 100% terrible between Whitebeard and him. Anyway, so, you know, she's thinking about Ace and all the samurai she comes in contact with. So it looks like Kaido is doing stuff to, like, try to tamper with her experience because, like, she, you know, gets with she sees some samurai and then they get executed, right? Apparently he was secretly feeding the princess. Okay, so, and then we know he's, like, starving her, so he's trying to prove a point to her. And, you know, I mean, I guess Oda's just saying, like, the point is wrong because, like, you know, Ace's memory and Odin's memory, like, these people's memory, like their feelings were stronger to her than what's going on. But also there's a little bit of a mirror to, you know, she's like Odin in that she wants to leave and she can't, you know, except her wanting to leave is her leaving what Kaido's saying is your lot in life, which is that they are Oni. Okay, so yeah, confirmation on the Oni race. It's so funny how, like, Oda's so good at like subverting your expectations to where it's like all these people have been walking around with horns. Of course it's a race. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Of course it is. But it's like you're so like the show's so weird, you know. But it's like it just goes to show that anytime there's, like, repetition, you know, he's, like, getting at something. So that makes me think about last chapter with Sanji and the Flame, right? And Lunarians. It's like I've always kind of had an issue with the Flame. Like, just, I mean, I'm fine to just have fun and go on along with the fictional story, but I've always had a little bit of issue with that. And that would be a good explanation for it, but it's also like, okay, great. Well, so is he going to be the gold, you know, like a prophesized person? Because you don't want too much specialized golden boy bullshit happening with the Straw Hats, right? And it's already, like, with the Joy Boy stuff and, like, Luffy being the main character, it's always like already running that risk, you know. Anyway, so let's see, and yeah, so then of course, they're going through the tower, right? They're going up through the levels, and so I guess you don't. I didn't realize it till later, but like Momonosuke like won't open his eyes, you know, and so like he's just even more terrified now, um, because you know, he's a giant dragon, so he's way up in the sky. It's scary. It's just his eyes are you know afraid of heights. So his eyes are up really high. It's scary. Anyway, so there's some good funny interaction, so that'll be fun in the anime, I'm sure. He's going through the floors. Okay, so and then he busts through. Um, I feel like this is kind of showing that that we're gonna get another. Like, I don't know if this is. I wouldn't say that this is the final situation because I feel like there's gonna be some separation again. But like, he's going through and seeing everybody in their different sections, you know, and so it's kind of like letting everybody know Luffy's here and he's gonna go do his thing, right? And so, so Law and Kid have been fighting Mom, right? And I can't, like, I mean, I guess they look, I mean, they don't look totally, you know, they're not clean. There's a little bit of grub going on, and Kid's got both of his arms, and Law is just, you know, doing his thing. I'm looking for Killer, but I don't see him. But I can't remember where he was. I've got to go look back and get my brain right on that. Anyway, and so they have, so he gets another Sabadi 3 captains like scenario together with the cells where it's like, you know, Luffy in the middle and Law and Kid on the sides, which is funny. And then also, you know, it also is funny that like sort of opposite color wheel dragon is coming through. Luffy's coming through with it, and like, I mean, probably Law knows about Momonosuke, but Jaggy, you know, Eustace definitely doesn't, and so that's, you know, from the perspective of the other people, it's always Luffy pulling out these fucking crazy, you know, these funny ass situations, like weird stuff. Like, I mean, just like, oh, it's a giant, like you know, he gets Eva-chan in impaled down. It's like there's this giant head. You got this whole crew of people. So it's always some weird thing. But also this is like starting to. These are the moments that are fun. I feel like that remind me of like the crazy shit of Ennis Lobby or Impelled Down, some of the crazier moments, you know, where it's not like just one-off fights or whatever, but it's like just, you know, a mad brawl of insanity all over the place. Anyway, so more, I won't open my eyes, right, going through the third floor, and then he flies up, and so then we actually get a good shot of the top, of the rooftop, right, and so it's just good to see like what kind of size that it is. It's hard to get like a good scale for that. Anyway, and then so this is the funny pic of Yamato sitting there, and so she's back in. I guess whatever happened forced her back into her. She reverted back to her human form, right? And she's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna let it end like this." And then, you know, it's like squiggly dragon in the background, which is great. And so then she goes divine step. So this like is probably some kind of mode or something. I'm not 100% sure, but it's like the looks like the Conqueror's Hockey is coursing through her her club. So I guess it's like it's sort of hard to accept the level of strength that Yamato is at, but like then when you measure it by like then when you like look at the bullet points of what Yamato is, it makes sense, you know. But it's like, so it really feels like at this point anybody could get Conqueror's Hockey, you know. I mean, some people like, I mean, like, of course, like Chopper won't, like, or hopefully he doesn't, you know. Like, it just it's not the you know, crazy rare thing. Like that's what's interesting. Is like in Marineford, they're like, oh, yo, what is this? When he uses it to knock people out. You know, so it's like really rare back then. No one in that, like, no, none of the supernovas or Shichibukai have it. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I have to think. Well, okay, Doflamingo has it, right? Okay, well, yeah, okay, it's there. I don't know. I guess in that, like, if you think about Doflamingo, then it does kind of, it's not maybe that crazy. Um, yeah, I could buy that. Like, if Dofi has it, then it's like, and so then I think like, oh god, a power scale Doflamingo and Yamato. Anyhow, so then Luffy goes. I'm trying to find it. See it. Yeah, he goes Gear 4 Snake Man. Okay, so like, it's just good to see Snake Man again. Like, I really liked the Snake Man and Katakuri fight where like, it's just he uses it and it's not like completely effective, but he kind of needed it to just hang in that situation. So it's good to see it again. And then so they do like a double thing, like White Snake Rush Jet Culverin. And I mean, this looks like it basically knocks the fuck out of Kaido. I mean, of course he's Kaido, right? He's gonna get up, no problem. But Kaido is being damaged now, 100%. And so I can't really tell, like, if it's like, I mean, they're hurting him, so it's like internalized Rio Conqueror's Haki. I mean, it doesn't look like there's Conqueror's Haki on the Jet Culverin. But maybe it's like, there's a mix there of Rio and Conqueror's Haki together, or has that been happening the whole time? I don't know, there's just some questions about it. It's a problem with black and white. That you can't quite tell. And then, so yeah, Luffy's in, oh, no, okay, now looking at it, there is Conqueror's Haki. There's the Black Lightning is happening. So, yeah, okay. Confirmation that is the thing. Alright, and then, so then you get the two, the two dragons, right? And so this is good because Momo, like, announces himself. He seems to be going in and out now, not just of being afraid, and then like he gets pushed to a limit where he's like, fuck it, I'll say it, but he's doing a little bit better now. And then also, like, Luffy just looks so badass when he's on Momonosuke. Like, he was just totally made to ride a dragon, and you could tell by the way he's like crossing his arms that he knows that he's supposed to be here. Anyway, so I guess this will be the fight. It'll be interesting to see. I'm trying to think of who else. Okay, so like, it's definitely, this could be it because they're setting up, what the final bouts are going to be. But I'm wondering if Brook. So it's like, it is realistic for not everyone to get a battle every arc, and it would also be like a little derivative if there was always like an in this lobby situation where it was like perfectly matched up. But I will say, like, Robin's got her dude now. I mean, hopefully this doesn't put her to bed, for the rest of the, honestly, for the rest of the series. That would be really sad. Like, I want to see more Poneglyph stuff, or, her do more fighting. But I would also like, I guess Usopp taking the Skull Crash, the ulti meteor to the head, is like a pretty big feat. And also, he's not getting like mummy wrapped like Zoro or anything, Anyway, well, it was definitely a good chapter. There's a break next week, which is like, you always expect a break. I expect a break every week, so it's been pretty good. But hopefully, what I like to see, I'd like to be able to know if the headline, or if the calamities versus the wings battle is going to be a 2v2 or um, a 1v1. I kind of feel like the setup with King and Zoro, and King kind of saying like, "Oh no, I fight dirty." They already were like saving each other as well, and so I'm wondering if he's trying to get the wings, like some connection there, because he's definitely pulling Sanji back up. But one thing is that, like, if it was going to be a King and Sanji battle, then we would probably learn about uh, more about Lunarians, and so since it's not, if that is a 1v1 that's not, it'll be like less likely for that to be talked about. Anyway, but I'm really excited for Sanji versus Queen, because I just want to hear about Mads and see what that's all about. I mean, you get the idea of what it's about. Um, but any info on Vegapunk is cool, so we'll see. Anyway, thanks for whoever watched this. Please leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I guess I'll do another one next chapter.